Okay. Fail 2020, the first of 4 sessions of Eurotour, which has been abbreviated. I've changed it. The original has 6 adventures, and we're playing 4 sessions, so that wasn't going to work. I cut out the boring stuff and the sexist stuff and, and some other problematic stuff, and then I sort of made a loose little timeline that we'll adhere to as much as we can as we play, depending on how fast we get through the different sections and stuff like that. But yeah, the concept of Eurotour is that a predominant musician named Jack Entropy, who I have made look like Daft Punk, um, is on a tour in Europe and is like it's better to burn out than fade away type personality, we'll say. Is causing problems and all about the music. And in Cyberpunk, rocker boys and girls like this are very like counterculture. They're the stirring up shit and stuff like that. So the various cities that you'll be traveling to aren't like super thrilled to have the concert come here, but at the same time, it's really good for tourism, and his concerts always sell out, etc. Part of being over in Europe is that there are other rules that you adhere to. It's specifically saying that it's not like martial law in the free zone in Night City and stuff like that. There's real laws here that you have to obey, and you all have PAC cards, which are essentially like uh, alien cards, like working in the overseas, and they can be reneged when you fuck up, basically. And otherwise, they'll just like toss you in jail for a little while, or maybe you'll get kicked off the tour, whatever stuff like that. It's the things that the modules very predominant about, I guess, pervasive maybe. They want you to solve confrontations in such a way that you won't get caught, essentially, and then continue on to the next city and the next city and continue doing that, getting away with stuff, basically. And each city is a different sort of mini adventure that you do, and has a rapidly or wildly different focus for each one. Let's see. So it was also highly criticized, Eurotour as well as Eurosource. So I'm not. I didn't bother really taking a look at the source books. We're just going to be kind of like winging it and going with whatever we come up with instead of defaulting to problematic content that I know is problematic content. We can at least try to do Europe justice on our own. And yeah, just like the land of the free, there's a whole bunch of casual sexism littered out in here, and so I'm trying my hand at, whereas land of the free, I ran it pretty much straight through, like I just did exactly what the module said, and aside from cutting out some misogyny and stuff and racism, this one I've condensed it completely and just kind of tried to do the Jason thing and get like the gist of the module, and we're gonna go with that and see what happens. We'll use it as a supporting document, but otherwise we'll just be doing the missions without its very granular take on these specific things happening. Aim, do it good. Well, our aim is to, have fun and to not have a problematic Europe tour, basically. Tone, we've already kind of established an anime type thing. Like it's quite gonzo. It's the tone rapidly seems to switch between very sad to gonzo, danger, death, dismemberment type situations. Mostly gonzo, though, I would say. And it's very much like, I don't know, like a cowboy bebop sort of thing, right? Where it's like really sad to like, let's go, boys. Badoop, 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 boop. And safety tools, we always have the X card. So if, especially if people have been to Europe and we're defaulting to certain things that we shouldn't have, then uh, any of us can hit the X card and be like, this is pretty reductive or a caricature or that kind of problematic stuff. The main gist of what I know of what is problematic of Eurotour is that it is very much viewed from a sort of American tourist sort of situation. Each time you go to a new city, it is very much like when you see it in the movies, like Venice and stuff, like exactly what you would think would be happening in Ocean's 10 when they go to Venice. That's what they think Venice is, except in the future. So yeah, they also make it a little bit of the like where America has devolved into lawlessness and stuff like that hasn't happened here. So there's also like a weird bit of like fetishization of what they have set up in Europe as well. So yeah, we're just gonna do our thing. And the opening part is rather than having you all get hired and go through this process that the book has detailed in great length to get you all together, we're just going to say that you were all hired already. You are imported. You have your PAC cards that could be taken away at literally any moment if you fuck up. And you are currently working a crowd for the first time. You have been hired on by, if you look at the Roll20, I have put the kind of like main cast of characters in there. And how do you say that name actually? Jimenez? Is that how you would pronounce it?
Jimenez.
Yeah. Jimenez has hired you on. He's the GM. He's the general manager. Jack, you probably won't see like much of. He basically just parties and stuff like that and does his acts and then pieces out. There's Catherine Clements. Ooh, actually, I'll screen share so that people who are watching can view this. Hopefully that works. I don't know. So this is the person, Jimenez, here, who has hired you on. Catherine Clements is marketing. You would have been introduced to all of these people except for I Spy, who will be introduced to at some point during this. Ace, head of security, who is, yes, supposed to look like a fuckboy. Tinker, the mechanic, and Jack. There might be some other people that I might bring in, but I'm not sure that we're going to be like rubbing shoulders with them too much anyway, so I didn't want to clutter up the screen and get people confused and stuff. But yeah, so you've been hired on. You got paid your $1,500, which is also Cyberpunk 2020 has it so that you're supposed to get paid monthly by your kind of class vocation per month, and then like it's very much kind of trying to keep you in like the daily grind of things, which doesn't really jive with what I want to do with this particular campaign. So just assume that over the course of this, you're getting paid money, but it adds up to $1,500, which you're already spending. So I don't have to be like, okay, yeah, it's been a week and now you get your paycheck and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned with that. Whereas Cyberpunk 2020 is all about like, are you buying kibble to survive and stuff like that? And I think we'll just gloss over that part. They've put you up in a hotel and you've all flown to Liverpool in order to do the first concert of the tour. And the important thing is that due to your skill sets and knowledge, the tour has hired you as sort of like the 1099 contractors, right? Where they're like, you do our problems for us. So that's its sort of justification for you going gallivanting and doing all these different scenarios. It's just because you do what they ask you to do, or you get your PAC revoked, basically, right? So this is not a good gig. Well, it's good money, right? And I think fictionally in the timeline, it makes sense for some of you people to come here because you just like nuked a major corporation into the ground, and now you're like, maybe we'll go to Europe, right? Because what happened previously was Arasaka got the head man got like feedback and killed by one of you, and then Biotechnica lost their major asset, who was a person, a cloned person from Land of the Free, who sailed away, never to be seen before again, basically. Wow. Yeah, she was a clown, remember? You don't remember that? It was 2 months ago. But yeah, so I think that maybe getting overseas and cooling your jets for a little bit was a wise thing to do. While two major corporations are like, I'm gonna kill those people for sure. You just sort of disappeared, and $1,500 is pretty good. You just got paid like a crazy amount for Land of the Free because it was like a campaign that would have taken us 4 or 5 months if we did everything right. So, so instead, with 3 months, we concluded it naturally, mostly, except for the end that nobody was surprised about, even though I yelled it out. So cool, Liverpool. Um, let's start with this opening scene in Liverpool. The main things that it wants to reiterate is the laws are strict. You'll have to have licenses for your weapons, which we'll say that you've got for now. So if you're buying new things, they'll have to give you it, or make sure that you're carrying your PACs. And the streets are full of uniforms. Foreigners might have trouble uh, telling the difference between indentured security policemen from the state telecoms engineer at first glance because they look similar. And basically, it seems like very like um, drab. The corporations have very much come to power here. It's ubiquitous, and there's colorful hologanda, is what it says, all over the place from the information directorate that is reinforcing join the army, save power, recycle, be watchful, those types of things. It doesn't say what you're supposed to look out for. I guess foreigners without PACs, right? And then report them, I guess. I don't know. It's very much the state has taken over. And part of Jack's tour is a countercultural music movement, right? So the state isn't super pleased with you guys being here, basically. So in this first little bits of the concert, though, I want to know who you all are. So, Asher, can you introduce your character?
Sure. So I'm Dover, they, them pronouns. I was originally supposed to be from like Kentucky or something, like hunting game, and then went on this wild chase and ended up in Europe somehow. So I'm a booster, so I'm all about fighting, and I have like powered fists and stole a gun last session. And have this wire. Yeah, and then a bunch of cybernetics.
Well, and you're like the muscle, basically, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Darren, your character?
Omen's back for more. He's still a booster. Lost an arm because Io wanted their own body, and who am I to argue? So instead, I've got just one arm, but a really big sword. I traded in my sword for an even bigger sword. I upgraded. Omen's hair is longer. Before it was just a little like bullshit thing. Now he's got like a proper little baby ponytail. I feel like maybe Io, if you want to go with this, maybe you finally told Omen how to properly care for his hair, and he has like an actual hair tie. Yeah, that's it. Like an actual hair tie instead of a fucking rubber band. Still has the prosthetic elf ears, obviously. Prosthetic is permanent, so you know. He's no longer in sweats because he's legally employed, as we all know, as we all are. So instead, he's got like Oxford shirts because we're in England. No, because Oxford shirts are standard. But like a few buttons are undone because it's Omen. He can't be restrained. And some like good slacks, you know, that I can get around with. And I think also like some like future tech derby shoes that are like very comfortable, like basically like Nike derby shoes, you know, the Nikes of the future, athleisure, business casual athleisure. So that's everything that Omen looks like. What's there to say about Omen? Omen is not college educated, to say the least. And there's no suspenders. I think Omen definitely knows nothing about Europe, and he's probably going to be like, well, no, I don't think I have it in me to be accidentally offensive, but we might get there. Who knows? Yeah, that's it. I think the sword is I think it's like this big gleaming like thing. It's like silver. It's very shiny probably, and that's probably gonna get messed up real fast. And I think that's gotta be it. That's Omen in a nutshell. He's probably gonna be real mad if he can't find any hot dogs in Europe. What do Europeans eat? Who knows?
Right, bangers and mash.
Yes. He's gotta go find some bangers.
This will definitely not be defaultism. Sweet. What about Kurt, your character?
Howdy. Well, Tex is celebrity cast by Michael Rooker. He wears leather jacket, pretty common clothes. But he's got this old beat up cowboy hat that he uses to hide his techno mohawk that was installed to control his best friend Rodeo, which is a 3 foot tall, 8 foot long spider robot who's got a little minigun tucked up under him. And he's their best friends. Tex is he's a simple man. He's probably middle aged, scruffy beard, not beard, but you know, not shaved well. And you know, he's pretty chill. He doesn't carry any weapons. I mean, unless you count the minigun under Rodeo, but Rodeo's carrying that, so that ain't him. But yeah, he's a good guy. Oh, he picked up an electric guitar at the last place, you know, because we're with a band now and he got to fit in, so he just picked up the guitar. He ain't real good with it yet, but he'll figure it out.
So, are you in the band?
I don't think so. I think he picked it up mostly because he installed a lot of audio visual equipment into Rodeo, so that he could, you know, better serve the band when necessary. And you got to be able to tune it. You got to make sure that the equipment's working. So he needed the guitar. So he's got it on his back.
Right. as one does.
Yeah, as one does. Oh, and he's an ace.
Cool. Lauren.
Can I first say like how happy I am to be playing this game with you guys because I missed all of these characters so much and it's so good seeing them come back. Yeah, I guess I'm playing IO, who is I guess for all intents and purposes like Omen's evil arm who now has their own body after Omen kindly like liberated them from their prison, I guess. But he's not evil. IO is not evil. I think IO I feel like it's probably kind of like the snippy like terrier puppy to Owen's like to Omen. I think IO takes a lot of like social cues from Omen, so he's probably wearing the same clothes as Omen. um, with the it was like like sort of quite like Oxford formal wear, right? Because we've got like a legitimate job and stuff. Yeah, like mini Omen. I think the picture I chose like on the Roll20 is more or less like this kind of cool looking dude with like long black hair with like a close shave like along one side. I think that was Bina. I think Bina gave like IO a good punk up like before they went to Europe, as like Bina's like patting gifts to Owen and IO. I get the feeling like Omen. Sorry, IO is going to come off kind of like the sort of quite placid, calm looking AI person, but is prone to like bouts of violence and like and anger, because I feel like that was a prominent emotion we saw from IO, because IO was just like this misunderstood AI in an arm, and I don't think IO has worked through all of like their problems yet, so I think that's going to be something for IO to work through in this new body. Probably smokes and stuff, like now that they like can experience human like tactile tactile senses, that kind of thing. Probably like food is like, oh shit, food's amazing. Like, oh god, now I'm I can think of his ex from Animorphs now. I'm sorry. And I think for IO's like weapons and stuff, it's all just very concentrated in like the arm that contains like the IO brain. And I think that hand is like multi-tool spike hand that can like punch viruses into people. I guess I feel like that's a function of the arm. Also carries a sword, because of course there's a sword. And yeah, I think that's IO.
Sweet. Okay, and Tony, your character?
Yeah, so it's pronounced Jaith and like Wraith, and he's an American that's traveling to Europe, I think on the pretense of that he's an old friend of someone else in this group, maybe even an old friend of someone in the. If no one else wants to pick that bond up, I think it could also be a friend of like someone else. One of the crew, one of the traveling crew of Jack's, and the reason I feel like he's never really been asked to go on this type of trip before. It's because he's kind of like a volatile personality. So he's wearing a black leather jacket and jeans and smoking a cigarette. And you can often see him sporting, the veil goggles, because he's kind of addicted to cyber gambling, and just like has a pretty cold stare, but will warm up to you if you engage. He's got a kind of a disarming smile. I think the thing that kind of defines him is that perfectly nice, gentlemanly, and good, good natured kind of person. But then he has kind of a short temper, which he doesn't really talk about maybe where it's from, but you guys can just assume that maybe his house, growing up was kind of chaotic and things like that. So he has a hard time dealing with stress. Yeah, and I think knowing that I think that's one of the. I think that's kind of a good basis to build off of. But other than that, you can often see him like wearing his veil goggles and like doing push-ups and just like I don't know, just engaging in the terrain around him, just to like keep himself fit and ready to defend himself or those around him that he wants to protect. So it's kind of borderline macho, but I'll say Midwest macho, if that means anything, because I'm from the Midwest. But
Gonna be
has
very
that rough
polite.
exterior, like a pineapple,
Like a pineapple.
like a golden interior,
Yeah.
but a spiky exterior.
Don't eat too much because it's acidic. Cool. So yeah. Also, I don't remember if I said this or not, but Britain is under martial law. So just an FYI.
So Brexit did happen.
I guess so. Yeah. And it's a lot like North America in its gaudy violence. That's what it says. Cool. So, as we're at this concert opening, first leg of the tour, I want to know what at this concert. Let's see. How do we know this concert is futuristic and extravagant? And what about it is controversial, provocative, or counterculture from each of you? And we can take a 5-minute break as you guys think about that because it's at the hour if you like. Let's come back at, let's just come back at 20. Does that sound good? 20 after? Cool. See you soon. Darren, I tapered off on Vert. You can see my shame in my corner there. See the bookmark is just sticking out. It's just like I'm ready to read.
I don't see where it's at.
In the bottom right corner there with Vert. It's the only thing with the bookmark sticking out of the book.
I can't see it.
Right there.
Oh.
That's cropped off on my screen. I have to
Yeah, I barely see it. I
Oh,
have
really?
that like Google sidebar thing over it, so I can see it through the dark gray.
Okay.
It's not capturing your attention.
I didn't realize that it constrained my proportions.
Oh, I can see it. It was just because I was moving my mouse, so it was popping up that sidebar. I can see it now, though. It's a very tall bookmark.
Yep. I have a lot because every time I order a book from Book Depository, I have a 50% chance of getting a bookmark with it. I don't know why it's not every time, but it's not.
Okay. Well, that's nice. I just used the like hold receipts that the library puts into the books.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have so many now. See, like, even just beside me, I have two.
Nice.
I'm
So
flush.
Bert's not engaging.
I have some other Aviatrix Games card too. I guess Catherine Ramen. Oh, cool. Yeah, right. See, it even has red carnations. Because I met her at Breakout.
And she gave you a card.
Yeah, I guess.
What else gave you, I guess?
Yep. Guess
Now it's a bookmark.
Didn't see her around on
Did
Slack, I guess.
Did you give her your business card?
I probably did. Yeah. Probably. I carried some, I'm sure. Cool. Okay, so who wants to go first? Darren, it is.
Let's see. How do we know this is a futuristic, extravagant concert? Do we define the genre that Mr. Jack Entropy performs?
No, we didn't. It can be whatever you guys want.
I think it was the 90s, 80s, 90s, German speed rock. Is everyone familiar? A good reference is a group called Atari Teenage Riot. We'll look it up. That's actually oddly appropriate because it was this like kind of like early electronic music that was it was like controversial because German like club music at the time wasn't political at all, and speed rock specifically was political, so it brought that sort of thing into the scene. So anyway, to not answer the question at all, but just think of a detail. Maybe it's something like speed rocky, but maybe it's more like some EDM sort of speed rock, and it's just like hyper fast BPM. That's like not really danceable at all. And then they're like yelling about politics. It's good stuff. But anyway, how do we know it's futuristic or extravagant? What if? Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? This is how we know it's extravagant, and then we'll make it futuristic. So like a really old Catholic services were done entirely in Latin, but more importantly, the clergy was behind a screen, so the like whatever the attendants, they couldn't even like see it happening. So maybe it's something like that. Like you can't even see Jack Entropy. Like there's not even like shadows or anything. So these people are just in this venue, presuming that the artist is there as they're performing behind the screen. And maybe it's just like not a physical screen, but it's like it's just like a solid wall of light, like a solid holographic wall. I don't know. That looks good in my head. And then what's controversial, provocative, or countercultural about it? I think that maybe it's what's controversial about it?
Like, you could have answered it already with your answer about the music.
Yeah, but I want to do something a little bit bigger
Sure.
than that. Because that's just punk rock, really. I was thinking that I want to see. I'm thinking it's something like they have to like surrender. You have to surrender your pack card or whatever. So everybody is technically like identityless in this venue, which is a problem because if it were like busted into, like they can't reasonably arrest everybody, and also like actual citizens who aren't foreigners or whatever, like definitely can't be arrested, but nobody has ID on them. So yeah, I think that's what I want to go with. Everybody is stateless at the speed rock show.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. Does anyone else have stuff?
I've got some ideas. So one of the things I noticed when I was looking into Cyberpunk 2020 specifically is the idea that your body is no longer your body, because of all the chrome and everything like that. Like it's just your flesh is not important, and so modesty just goes completely away, because who cares, right? It's just this stuff. And so I think there's like, I mean, someone can obviously X-card this, but I think there's like aggressive nudity, like with chrome, like the blend of like, this is where the cyber arm attaches to the body, like on that giant screen.
Like the on the giant screen, they're showing an arm being attached.
Or like just these flash images of like parts of like zoomed in parts of nude bodies, but with chrome everywhere.
Oh, cool. Sure. I'm down with cyber nudity.
I think that's my definitely my controversial, provocative, and the futuristic part is like it's holograms. So the screen is there, but then like things will step out and like walk over and do stuff in a hologram, and then like go back into the screen.
Cool. Anyone else got something?
I guess I got some things that may or may not be things. Uh, well, all I remember like visiting England is it's very strapped for space. So like a lot of buildings and townhouses and stuff are quite like narrow and tall. So I kind of picture this like being quite a tallish, like quite a narrow venue, which means that there's probably like nosebleed seats. And the way you get to them, I don't know, I just love the idea of like these sort of like clear escalators. So like it looks like you're riding up them, but like you're in the air kind of thing, and there's probably like some neon like guardrails, kind of like big neon guardrails, like people are like holding on to it. So instead of traversing up into like the nosebleed seats and that kind of thing. I think that looks pretty cool in my head. And then I don't know, I was kind of picturing as well, it'd be quite neat if this venue was likewise like either had kind of like a one-way window thing going on, where either like everyone in here can see out, or vice versa, or it's like a completely transparent building, but it's like I don't know, I guess like I was toying around with these ideas of sort of like claiming public space kind of, but yeah, so I'm not sure what's cooler. Everyone looking at us and be like, hey, you can't come in here, man, this is our space, and we're all like packless and you know whatever, we're just like flaunting all this stuff. So I kind of dig that, especially if it links in with like the holograms like leaping out of like the stage and stuff, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Don't you know we're packless in here? Cool. Anyone else?
I have an idea. I think for the future part, how do we know this is future? Is instead of lights, it's shooting out like hot and cold beams. So there's all these different like textures and stuff that they create on people's bodies using just like heat and cool. And then for countercultural and provocative, I think like over the venue, they like identify things flying above to like claim that space too. So like it'll tell you like this flight is flying from here to here, you know, and it's just like overlaid over the flight.
Cool. And Tony?
The only thing I had is really kind of boring, but well, okay. So there's two things. So I'm thinking one of the things that just makes it futuristic is maybe just like so like a trashy 80s like vending machine with like burner cell phones in it and like paperback novels and like just stuff that like just random like stupid like stuff that you wouldn't expect in a vending machine. So like yeah, like maybe enhancements, pills, other pornographic items, maybe something, you know, like stupid shit, you know, like club shit. And that's just that's partially the provocative. Actually, at first I was thinking that'd be the futuristic, but the futuristic could also be, you know, if you have a specific model that's like a rare chip or something that's visible, or a rare you know, implant or something, then that one would be like they're during the holographic displays on the screen, like there'd be like a profile. It basically like it'd be like it was basically like the Veil equivalent of it would show up, like the Google, like someone basically Googled it and like showed all the stats of your augment, of your implant, and like told you the cost of it, told you like where to buy it and stuff like that. So it was like, I don't know, just kind of even more revealing upon showing who you are.
Yeah. So because Jack Entropy is naked on the stage, you have to be too, as a consumer of his product. And you're getting hot and cold at the same time too. Rough day. he like flashes a cyber nipple and people are like actually getting hit with hot rays and they're like, wow, that's hot. Cool. Love it. All right. So let's see. So who do I wanna? So it's very loud. Everyone's like pushing in on there's like the typical hired like muscle people that are pushing back on the fans who are like shouting and undulating their way towards Jack at all times, right? To try to tear down the screen and get behind that act. He might not even be there, right? It's just like in his back hitting some buttons and shit on a keyboard. Yeah. It's all like just wired up or something. Yeah. But anyway, they're all like, you know, most of them are probably high and they're all like shoving towards the front and stuff like that. Everyone's packless, which is risque. And let me just roll a die here to see who I wanna have this. Cool. Okay, so Asher, Dover. I have to relearn everyone's names now. Oh shit. There's so many names for me. I'm gonna have to delete some of these. I can't even like tell. One thing I'll ask you guys to do, please, is to go to the settings tab in the top right corner and under display name, write your character's name, pronouns, and then your name as a player with your pronouns as well, just so I can look down there. It used to be easy because I could just look at your characters, but there's literally my entire screen is just full with characters because we've had so many people play in this in this room now. So yeah, but anyway, Dover. There is 3 people that are making their way forward through this mass that look completely different than the fans. They're dressed very like stiff and more like corporatized, and they're on a mission, right? Like they don't look like they're taking in the show. They look like they're traversing a specific path to try to get through these people. More clothes, yeah, exactly. How did you know? Yeah, you saw right through my ruse. We'll have to play a different game. Um, but one is a woman who I will get the picture of here. She has like cropped hair in black dress and has a cyber arm. And then the other two guys just like, I'm picturing just like men in black type looking people. One is white, one is black, flanking her. She's in the middle, and they're just like making their way towards where you are, which is probably like, if you're not guarding the specific place that is to the backstage, then you're somewhere else and you notice them making their way to that. So what do you do?
Do we establish that we have like comms of some sort?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You guys can talk to each other.
Yes, I think I'll be in front, like usually mostly watching the people to make sure they don't get too close, but I'll see these people coming up and like tell everybody, hey, we have 3 people who don't look like fans trying to get over here.
Who do you say that to? Just everybody?
Yeah,
Cool.
the team.
What? Dover,
It's
you
too
have to speak up.
The music's really loud.
It's because it's at a naked part.
I think I'll like start walking towards them, right, so that they don't get too close.
Okay, so you move to intercept them?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I think as you move to do that, the black guy like whips his head around, very like animatronically, right? As if he's like scoping you, and then he breaks off from them and goes to interrupt you. What is everybody else doing? Or intersect you, not interrupt. Well, maybe interrupt if you're about to say
Yeah, I
something.
may intersect with that path as well. The one with those other 2. So where that guy just broke off. Sorry.
Like you're on the
I
little
go with-
herd.
Yeah, with where Dover was calling, just because I'm like concerned. If
Okay.
these guys are moving with intent, I'll make sure that they're all right.
Cool. And what about Omen?
Yeah, I like the scene that Io and Omen are checking off basically and like enjoying the concert. But I think I'm gonna go get some drinks. So heading towards the bar. Maybe that's when I hear Dover being like, we got people being shady. So at the bar, I'm probably gonna try and look over the crowd, see what's going on.
Sure. So you can see the black guy making his way towards Tony's character's name.
Jake.
So I can see that.
Wraith, right? Wraith rhymes with wraith, yeah. Yeah, so you can see that just happening, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just like tap back and be like, well, look, you guys look like you've got it.
Sure. Cool. And Io?
Well, we for sure get that like shot of like this concert space, right? And like you probably get that neon cast of like bisexual lighting on Io's face. It's like Io's gaze like meets Omen's, but Omen is like looking at where the other people are, and then Io like follows that gaze with a very sort of like fluid AI movement, even though he's still human, I guess. And I guess like I feel like I was a pretty like protocol kind of person, so we'll probably walk in a very like similarly clinical, but like measured with purpose pace toward like where this is all going down.
Cool. Towards the main people.
Yeah,
Cool.
through the crowd. The crowd's kind of potting around him. He doesn't need to like push past anyone.
Right. Okay. And I think the white guy breaks off and does the same thing, like the swivel head, and goes towards you then. And what about Tex?
So I think Tex is arguing with some concert goers about why he should be allowed to wear his hat. And so he like breaks off. He gets the call from Dover, and he's like, all right. Listen, miss, you just gonna have to go back out that way. This is a hologram. This ain't even real. And he just turns around and he's like, I'm sending Rodeo to come and check up on you. And so he like connects with Rodeo and sends Rodeo over to go and because Rodeo has recording now and a holo projector. So he's gonna send him over to go and record. Like he's gonna get a visual on these people and project a hologram of them giant in front of the naked screen.
Oh, like for everyone to see?
Yeah, just these suits just in here, just like projected up huge, these giant holograms, just doing whatever they're doing.
Talk about being naked. Okay. Cool. And I think as you like break away, the little British woman is like, I knew we would be a fucking Yank. That's what you hear as you like walk away.
Hey, there's no forget it.
Yeah. And she's like, cool. Okay, so do you think that you're like hacking the screen to do this, or is like this
I
just
think
like thing that you have access to and can do?
I think Rodeo. So Rodeo has the video camera now and the projector. So I'm happy to roll if this is a roll to do that. I think it's like I don't know that I'm hacking the screen because we're on the team, right? Like, so I probably fix some of the audio video equipment because I'm like I can repair stuff. So
Sure. Okay. I like that. Yeah, I don't think it would need a roll then if there's no danger of it not happening. So, and you're projecting which person? Because they're all separated.
they all
now.
split up. So who looks like they're the closest to doing violence?
Well, the woman looks like she's the closest to gaining entry to the back because people keep splitting off instead of like her getting. Each time they go to intercept him, another guy breaks off to intercept them instead.
I'll probably just show the one that's heading towards Dover because that's who asked for help.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So, and then I guess there's like mass confusion that breaks out, right? Because they're like, what? Go back to the show. More nipples.
Can I make it start taking off his clothes? Just start programming a little show and like have the hologram just start getting naked?
Sure. Okay, so it starts getting divorced from reality then. It starts extrapolating his build and it's like when people Photoshop heads onto porn stuff happening, right? Okay. Sounds good. Interesting choice. Okay, so
I think I'll use my anchoring cyber feet to like jump or like go up the wall, right? And like walk on the ceiling over to her so I don't have to deal with all these people.
oh shit, okay.
Think it's anime as fuck.
Yeah, okay. So you run up the wall and then launch towards her essentially?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that would be a roll. So let's see how well you handle that with, I think, the stakes being you don't land where you ought to. Like she gets out of the way or does something to cause a distraction, like you landing on a different person or something like that.
Do I reset my little marks?
Yeah, you can reset them. Yeah. Yeah, everyone should be clear.
Do I get advantage because I'm using item?
Using your item.
Yeah, the cyber feet.
Are you synced to that item?
I don't know how that works.
What class are you?
A booster.
A booster. So let's see. So for boosters, you
I should
Yes.
sync to it. I use them a lot.
well, the syncing is for aces, not boosters.
Okay.
You're really good at combat, though, and we can say this is a combat maneuver, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can roll normally and not take disadvantage.
All right. So I'm powerful. An 11. Nice.
11, that's pretty good. Okay. So describe how you do it. It happens.
I think I'll like land behind her, but slip the mono wire around her. So I can like.
That escalated quickly. Okay, so
I want to threaten her, but not have people notice, right?
Okay, so do you land kind of like behind her with the rope around her,
Mm-hmm.
kind of? Yeah.
And like try to escort her out.
Oh shit. Okay. Sounds good.
Right,
So
good
you
call.
land there. You put the filament whip around her neck, and then we'll cut to who was getting intercepted. We'll say Jace. was getting intercepted, and Tex was going towards them, right? Yeah. Cool. So we'll say that Tex, you can come up behind this person, and as they make their way towards Jace, and they say they've got glasses on, like MIB type stuff, right? And you can see maybe there's like a camera shot that pans around from behind them so that you can see through their glasses as if it's them, and it kind of like cuts out all of the veil stuff. They're just seeing like, the physical world only. And I think they go to put an arm out, like in a halting motion, and they say, cease and desist. We're here with Interpol. What do you say? Or do?
Yeah. I think I might actually, if I can, try to use the like hacking into the holograms around us to make it look actually like this guy's holding a gun at me or something, like if that's possible, or holding a weapon like a knife.
You're like, I would like one probable cause, please. Sure. Okay. Sounds good. I think the stakes for the role is that he figures out like what you're doing and moves to get physical with you.
Okay. Yeah, because that's okay. And I didn't really explain this very well in the introductions, but I'm an input, so it's like all tied to my brain directly. Yeah. And yeah.
Can people see that, or what? Do you have it like covered up, or like how overt is it?
I think people can see it. I think it's more. It's like I have like short crop dark hair that's maybe combed over, but it's pretty visible. It's not like a big statement or anything. So I'm sorry. So I just roll my 2d6 or
2d6 plus however you're feeling. So
okay.
How are you feeling about this Interpol person saying, cease and desist? And you're like, I'm gonna make it seem like you're hurting me so I can fuck you up.
I am probably one of the least comfortable people being naked, so I'm feeling pretty angry about this guy reaching out for me.
Sounds good. So then roll with that and then add a little tick box to it.
Okay. So my mat is high here. I get an 11.
Cool. You guys roll well. No wonder it's hard for me to kill you. Not like Jason. Just kidding. Haha, kind of. So what happens then?
So it looks as if he's holding. It looks as if he's holding like a weapon, which you're not even supposed to have in here, like a gun, a pistol.
Right. So instead
And
of him having his hand out like that, it's like with a gun, right?
Yeah. And so I'm sure like really quickly that might get picked up by like the cameras that are scanning everywhere is kind of the idea. So like I want it to kind of like echo or like reverberate with the rest of the projections. I just hit the plus button on Mad, but I don't know if it did anything.
I think you're continuing to roll.
Sorry.
Okay. So I think you're hitting
Sorry about
the
that.
advantage, maybe.
Yeah, it was different. I switched the interface over from 2020 from the original Veil to 2020, and it looks different for me now. And I don't know. Oh, I just had to check it. Okay.
Yeah, just to check.
Check one of them. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the pluses and minuses is advantage and disadvantage, or the arrows.
Roll with advantage and roll with disadvantage. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the idea would be like to alert security or alert those around me that like this guy isn't supposed to be here. That would be the ultimate desired outcome. But we are security, right? I'm gonna like ruin the party.
Yeah. Okay. So all these images, especially with text, I guess, right, with the robot showing this, it shows that he's got a gun, and then that gives you a probable cause as the end, right? Yeah. Okay. So
yes.
Tex, you come up on this guy. You see, what does it act like? What does Tex see as you do that? Is it like imperceptible and it just happens, or
that's what I'm wondering is because Tex doesn't have like cyber eyes or anything, so does everyone just see the veil? Like, does everyone have an implant, or is it you have to have goggles on to see the veil?
Yeah, you'd have to have goggles on, or you can have like contacts on that are cheap, or you can have goggles, you could have cyber eyes, you could have those glasses and stuff.
He probably has like some aviators.
Yeah. Okay.
So, some veil aviators. Yeah. And so he sees this gun. He's like, "Whoa, buddy! You're not allowed to have weapons in here. You're gonna have to put that away." And he like goes to put his hand on the guy's shoulder.
Okay. And is that's ultimately to defuse the situation, right?
Yeah, I want this guy to back down. Well, he's got a gun.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I need him to put that away.
Do you know that it's fake or no?
I don't think I do. He rolled really well, and I'm wearing my aviators, so
sure. Okay, sounds good. Well, I guess that's one way to handle it. Okay.
Yeah, I won't say anything until.
Yeah, I think I'm just like, whoa, put it down, back it down. There's no weapons allowed in here. Also, if you didn't notice, we have a bit of a dress code. So if you need, I can get you one of them clear coats. You know, like how they have green jackets at a golf club, but it's just plastic. I can get you one of them coats, but otherwise, you're gonna have to drop that gun and them clothes. You got to take it back to the cage, man.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and how are you feeling about this?
I mean, he's got a gun. I'm naked. He's probably. I'm scared. I think I'm a little scared.
Yeah. And do you think this falls within your fictional positioning?
Probably not. Like I fixed stuff, and Rodeo's not here with the minigun to scare this guy. Like I do not think I have positioning on this guy.
Yeah, so you'd roll with disadvantage.
Okay, so this is gonna be real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6. Does somebody want to help?
If anyone else wants to, because I just had a turn, I'm willing to wave, but I would help too, though.
Well, you're right there.
Present. Yeah, exactly. So I do my 2d6 with. Should I keep rolling with?
Actually, so what would happen is Tex would roll another die, and then we'd see if the advantage helps or not from you helping. And your help needs to be something more than what you already did with the gun, though.
Yeah.
Then.
So if I have, so I rolled with disadvantage, and then he's giving me advantage, which makes it a straight roll. So should I just
Oh,
would
so
I just
you would,
take the first two die? Like, how does that? Do I roll
Yeah.
another one?
I guess you would just take the take the thing.
I feel like this would be me acting powerfully because my thing tricked both of them, and
yeah.
and I'm just optimistic that and confident that we outnumber this guy. You know, like I feel like that's my action or that's my motivation there. I don't know if that comes into effect
Mm,
because I'm not doing a roll. I think you said.
yeah. So what
What
would
do I
happen?
actually do?
Yeah. What do you do? Yeah.
Okay. I think knowing that there's not actually a gun, it'd make it really easy for me to just grab his hand.
Right.
And, like he's reaching out for me, and I could just
You're both working together
disarm
to
him.
detain him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is your helping me just showing me that there's not actually a gun there?
Yeah.
So you just like swing your hand to where the gun should be?
Right. I'll just be like,
You're like, no. It's all good.
Yeah. So, it would become a 7 then.
Yeah.
It looks like, which would be good. In the future, yeah, we just got to remember that helping happens before. So you're entangled in the role. I've been playing too much Dungeon World with Jason. It's like, looks like you need some help there, champ. Okay, so so it becomes a 7. So let's see. Get what you want, but there's a complication as well. Partial success, catch, compromise, complication, retribution. Oh yeah, it'll be retribution. So okay, so you guys do what I imagine is like your takedown maneuvers, right? To disable this person together. Is that what you guys had in mind as well?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Cool. And so I think you've got him like normal cop style thing, like he's on the ground and you're doing the like keep your hands behind you, that kind of thing, right? And I think that's when the white fellow who was walking the opposite way to intercept somebody else, Omen, I think it was.
I'm hanging out at the bar.
Yeah, but then you started walking there.
That was Io.
It was I
Oh,
think
I-
you confused the two of us because we are dressed very similarly, so I don't blame you.
Right. Okay. So Io, I think you we get a like jump cut from that to the white fella who's men in blacking towards you with the same outfit and glasses on that strip away the veil so he's not all like looking around and stuff like that. And he suddenly stops, turns around, and as he sees that happening, he starts to take out a device that is like, how big would it be? It looks like maybe the size of like a large lip balm that's glowing blue. And I think that with your fictional positioning for what you are, you know that it's like something that yeah, an e-cigarette. It's an e-cigarette for the government that will disable all the electronics in the area, like in EMP. So an EMP cigarette. What do you do?
Yeah, no, I think like I think so. Bad thinking. I think Io is just going to try and like close in on this guy and like sort of twist his arm a bit and sort of just like manhandle him to get him to either to grab the thing he has or get him to just like drop it or whatever. In very
So
cool martial arts kind of way.
okay, you're gonna martial art him so that he can hit the button or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
with my brain hand.
You'll never light that cigarette in here.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is a no smoking area.
Yeah. So do you think this falls in your fictional positioning?
Yeah, I think so. Like I am synced up to my arm kind of thing, right? Like I
What is
presumably
and your jam is like infiltration and stuff, right?
yeah.
Cool. So roll normally unless somebody wants to help. We should do that beforehand.
I can maybe help.
Oh, it splashes the martini all over the man.
Actually, yeah. What if what if I'm coming up with 2 drinks, Io, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, stop hitting on my dude."
Yes.
And, instead, I'm just like gonna like help out Io and fuck with this Mr. Interpol man's with the cigarette.
I love that so much.
Okay, so you'll have advantage. The stakes, though, I think is I'll put harm on the table because one of his little compatriots have already been taken down, despite identifying himself as authority figure. So I think he'll move to violence if you don't succeed at taking him out. Okay.
Okay. And I'm feeling pretty powerful. I think like we've got this situation pretty under control. Like Dover like went off with their other lady. This guy's pretty fucked and naked, I think.
Yeah.
That's just this guy. So we've got this in the bag. Sheet.
So roll with advantage too, because you're getting help. Damn, you guys are doing well. Okay, so you do it and you get a small other advantage. What else would be advantageous? What else do you want out of that?
Good question. Does he have any kind of like cyberware on him or anything like that?
Let's say he does. What would you do?
I just feel like it'd be like, I don't know, like what? Oh gosh, what do you call that sort of computer virus? The one that's sort of like to steal information from him. So like I get some more information on who he is and what his deal is here and stuff and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, sure. Cool. So we'll say that you do know that he's an actual Interpol agent. And I think just for staying on tone and brand, I think his name will literally be Mr. White. And what else did you want to know about him? Just if he has cyberware?
Yeah, because I was thinking like if this is viral infiltration, like I could use the spike in my palm to kind of like infect cyberware.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he's got cyber eyes, and that's why he's got the glasses on to like stop himself from seeing all this stuff. Because there's a lot of sensory stuff happening at the moment. And he did one.
Oh, it's so cool. I love the idea of Omen coming up and be like, hey, like, get away from my dude kind of thing. And like it's a bit of like an awkward social confrontation. And then you just have like Io do like sort of a 1-2 of like grab his wrist to get him to drop like the thing, and then like lifts that same arm back up and like sort of Vulcan like nerve grips his temple to like get his cyber eyes.
So cool. So you've infiltrated him and you've made it so he can't do the e-cigarette thing, right? He's disabled just like his friend.
And he can't see anymore. I don't know, like whatever you want to do with like the fiction of the cyber eyes are fucked or infected.
Yeah, great. Okay.
I'll
so
take his sunglasses off his face and put them on.
Boom. Okay. What kind of sunglasses are they?
I think they're just like very businessy Ray-Bans.
Businessy Ray-Bans. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that future. Okay. Cool. And then we'll cut back to Dover. So you've got the woman with a monofilament like thing around her neck, and you're behind her, right?
Yeah. So I'll just ask, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You're pulling out of context.
Yeah. And are you? So I imagine you're saying that behind her, like saying that into her ear or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like not trying to cause a scene.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like you're just watching. Yeah. Unlike other people. Yeah. You're like seeing all this stuff happen on the screen where you're just like, fuck. She says, Interpol has sent us to inform you of a credible threat against uh, Jack Entropy, and also to inform him that concerts that remove people's PACs are strictly prohibited in this country.
So you're trying to stop the concert?
Yes. The concert needs to be shut down. You're attacking an Interpol agent, and and we also have data on credible threats against Jack Entropy.
I guess I'll like relay this to everybody else.
So what do people want to do?
Don't trust the fucking cops, Dover.
I think I'll still like. Well, I don't know. So I think I'll just get the information, right? Like, what is this information that you have?
Sure. Maybe we'll say that she's like old school and she's got like a manila folder or something, right? Like in her breast pocket, and she takes it out and gives it
I'll
to you.
drop the
The
monofilament.
whip?
Yeah.
Or whatever, the line. I guess it's not a
Mhm.
whip, right? I always think whip just because of Johnny Mnemonic with that guy who's always like, but yeah. Cool. So she gives you the information, and she says, we're just doing our jobs, but this concert is in violation of, international laws, yada 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 yada. It needs to be stopped, and from going forward, when you go to different destinations, people have to carry their PACs. Otherwise, it'll be bad news. You're in a police state. This was a terrible idea.
Well, we're not in charge of ending the concert. We're just in charge of security.
Yeah. Well, maybe I could talk to a Mr. and you see like her sorting through the things in her cyber eyes, right? Like the little reflections of the thumbnails that she's going through, and she's like a Mrs. or a Mr. Jimenez. What was it? I forget what it was called. Jimenez. Yeah. Somebody who is in charge of things.
We'll talk to them.
Okay, so you escort her back there?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So what did you other people do who have disabled the agents and blinded another one? Are you intending to just like hold them and then release them once the talk is completed and stuff like that, or?
What should we do, women?
Let's sort of suck her out of here, trying to break up this party.
That can be done if you wish it.
Tell the tour guy not to let him back in.
We could throw them both out.
I mean, this fella had a gun, so
Uh,
you can't just come in here waving a firearm.
It's like, I don't have a gun. I'm Interpol.
well, we can bring
All right, sure.
we can
I'm
bring him
supposed-
to the back.
We will level heavy sanctions against you.
I'm supposed to believe you're like a federal agent or something, and you ain't got a firearm.
Maybe let's see, what would be neat. I think maybe each of them have like a barcode right at the base of their neck. That is like, I don't know, some sort of tattoo that labels them with Interpol, or other police agencies would have other ones like that. So you can like scan the barcode and you can see that he matches.
Listen, buddy, the only things I scan are my groceries at the grocery store. You're out of here.
Okay, so you're depositing them out there and just saying that they could be collected later or whatever?
Yeah, well, it's not my business.
Okay, I guess the blind guy is like, you'll be sorry, but I can't do much about it, right? So you escort them both out and then just tell security to like not let them back in or whatever, right? Okay, cool. So we'll just move this along to the rest of the concert's going. You escort the woman back there, and her name is Miss White. She gives you this folder with information about Jack being targeted, and she wants to speak specifically to the manager. So I think Jimenez says that he'll meet with her and just like does the like closing door and like I'll deal with you two later type thing, right? And then we have like a time passes. The concert's over, everyone's like shuffling out and all that kind of stuff. They've had a conversation for a long amount of time when I just have to check. Catherine Lemons, the marketing director, is in like a panic and searching around, and eventually makes their way to you. We'll say that like, you know, your obligations are completed for the concert and you're like on your way back to the respective hotel rooms. They rented the equivalent of like the Ritz or whatever, right? The entire floor for the staff of the concert, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's very well to do. But on your way out of the concert, Catherine comes up to you and she's looking very like distracted and panicked. And she will say you all are together. And she leans in close to you and she says, "Have you guys tell me that you've seen Jack? No one can find him anywhere." What has seen Jack? Yeah. Yeah. She kind of does her like exasperated, extended sigh, and is like, hopefully he's not on a bender with anybody. And she's like, "I've looked for everybody, and I can account for everybody except for Jack and Tinker, which is the mechanic in the bottom left corner picture. Kind of looks like Angelina Jolie-ish to me, but with like higher cheekbones maybe." Anyway, those two are missing, and she's like, "I know that you guys just got hired on, but you need to take care of this before Jimenez finds out." And also keep this on the down low. If word gets out that Jack is on a bender out here in a police state, it would be the end of the tour or something like that. Right?
So you only care because of PR.
I care about Jack's well-being. She says a lot.
So wait, you're saying that him going on a bender is going to wreck the tour, but we just threw 2 Interpol agents out in the street and we're fine. I don't.
Interpol agents.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
what are you wearing, Tex?
So this is much later, right?
Yeah.
So he's wearing he wears like a leather jacket that has it's probably a little beat up, but it's probably got some like cyberpunky stuff in it, right? So it's got like some lights or something on it,
Okay.
and like whatever futuristic blue jeans.
I think she grabs the parts of the jacket that are neon or whatever, and she like pulls you closer. She's like, "Tell me that didn't actually happen, Texas."
I mean, the name's Tex. It's not Texas. Like that's a common misconception when I meet people. Actually, no, yes.
And she's like, "Is that who Jimenez is talking to in there, Interpol?"
Oh, I don't know. Dover's the one that let that broad back there.
I thought you didn't know where he was.
No, she's looking for Jack, not Jimenez.
Who's Jack?
The singer of this tour, the main attraction.
Just testing you.
Yeah, she's like,
I was supposed to know what Jack even looked like, right? He's always wearing the helmet.
Exactly. Even in public, it's like a very PR thing. And what makes it very easy for people to probably spot him on a bender or whatever around the city, perhaps, right? But she's just like, "Ugh, I'll deal with Interpol, try to smooth it over if you want to get on my good side," and you do. Go find Jack. Get him back here, safe, quietly, and safe. And she just like storms off. And she's probably got like really high heels and they're like glowing and stuff, different colors.
But I mean, quietly is most important. Yeah. Oh, she's gone. She's gone.
Yeah. So, and remember that Tinker is also gone. So, what is everybody thinking?
I'm thinking Catherine doesn't sign my paychecks.
She's feels she's important.
I'm wondering if they have a mechanic. They must have like a garage somewhere, right?
Yeah, well, and everybody has a hotel room and stuff too back at the Ritz.
Were we sure that Jack was at the concert? Everybody?
That's true, yeah. He could have been phoning it in or something, I guess.
I feel like we really screwed ourselves over with this fictional positioning.
Yeah.
It is strange. It is suspect that Jack, who hired us to guard him, wasn't having us guard him.
It's true. Yeah. Well, you got hired by Jimenez as more of a all-purpose team, right? Like, we give you a problem and you fucking solve it, basically.
Right. I keep forgetting that this is not a job.
Yeah. This is a not unexploitive position you're in.
Well, I mean, when's the last time anybody's seen him?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
guys
I
want
don't
to
think we
check
have seen
your?
him.
Do you want to check the equipment to see if he was present or not?
Yeah, there must be like video or something.
Yeah, let's pull up the footage.
Sure. I think that probably would require a roll, especially the rigor. So you pull it up, and what you see, I don't know how. So he's behind there doing his performance usually, right? I think what happens is about 70 minutes before the thing ends, you see Tinker come in on like a short break, maybe like between songs or something, as they're amping up the hype for the next thing. And they have what seems like a little bit of an argument. And she splays something on some sort of chair wherever he was sitting. They bend over, they seem like they snort it, and then they leave together. And then he phones it in, basically. He turns on like autopilot Jack. And also, it's a little bit funny. I imagine it would be like the TV head from Saga taking a hit of cocaine, right?
Like, how much technology went into making it so he could snort through the head?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, maybe there's like a grill, right? And he's just like, yes, that's the stuff.
Like a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He just hits like a button and it's like, ring. Yeah, and then on the side it just has like a Hoover. Right? So yeah, that's what this footage shows.
Maybe we could follow the drugs to locate these guys. They're gonna need to refill soon.
Interesting.
That's my theory. But maybe they brought enough to last them. I have no idea.
Did it show us where they went after?
Let's say that the security follows them until they get into like some audacious. It's like a H8 or whatever it's at, right? Like a Hummer 8 or whatever. It's probably a limo Hummer, actually. It's what they get into, and it's probably all gold. And they like exit the building, and then the footage doesn't track them again. But out Yeah, we'll say that there's like the residue of the drug right there if you're physically looking at it or something. So that could be an idea. And then also, yeah, there's other things maybe.
Could I use my optics to like inspect the drug, the
Sure.
physical drug? I have what do I have? It's like the zoom in image enhancement.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I could tell more specifics about it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just powder. I don't know.
Sure. Let's say, what's your fictional positioning again?
Okay. So,
Like your chips, what do they give you?
oh yeah. One of them is the two chips that I have. One of them is gun fu, and the other is like glamour. So I don't think either of those really work.
Okay, well, you can still try it. Just try it
Yeah.
with disadvantage.
It's disadvantage, and I
Yeah.
still have to choose a state, which I'm using.
Yeah, and we'll say if
Nice.
it does work, then you're able to sort of trace this specific
Okay.
residue.
So can I help since he's at disadvantage?
How would you help, Tex?
So is this like in your head, or are you like generating this feed? To
I
somewhere?
am using my right ocular implant. My right eye is in optics. So if
Can
you
I
can
patch you into Rodeo so he can like shoot the all the stuff you're seeing out, so we can all look at it?
oh, there you go.
Cool.
Okay, so just roll regular.
Yep, roll
I think we're
regular.
just gonna do peaceful
Sure.
because because
Just-
peaceful.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Cool. A
What did I
9.
get? 9. Okay.
Cool. So you can tell that the drug is called a blue glass, and it's basically like cocaine that amplifies people's whatchamacallit, cyberware and stuff like that for a short amount of time. But it's also like pretty dangerous. It can cause shorts and stuff like that. But it's highly addictive, and it's basically like futuristic cocaine, essentially, I believe.
Blue glass.
So
I know.
it's hallucinogenic as well. So it was originally developed as a biological weapon. Under stress, you will have a 3 in 10 chance of flashing out, reduced to staring blankly at the pretty colors in your mind. Roll 1d10 and hope. That's if you take it as a player. So yeah, they're tripping. We'll say that you'll be able to trace the residue. And so I guess you would see a path that would be Tinker ingesting it. Maybe you can trace it because it probably, like, once they take it, their body starts metabolizing it and like pheromone puffs it out or some shit like that, right? Some futuristic stuff that you can see on your eye readout. And so there's the path leading to her specific area, like in the whatchamacallit, like stagehand area stuff for where she is. And then there's the path that leads to the limousine and it going somewhere. If you follow it to her specific place, you'll see that there is some more blue glass, of course, and a phone book open to a taxi station, and a map with a street corner marked on it. And the call in the place, remember, this is like very 90s analog, like blue, like Blade Runner-ish type stuff, right? There's also like a phone that has video, and there was a place, a phone call placed 70 minutes ago about, so when they took off, to a Green Line 70 minutes ago, which is probably where they got the gaudy ass Hummer thing. It'd be like a taxi service, except that it's like Hummer Town for him. And I don't think I want to. In the thing, it's like make them roll to find out what's at the corner, but I think that would be boring. I think if you look at the map that is like clearly marked at where they might be going, It is a club called the Blind Lady. And it just says in the phone book, let's see, what would it say? It would say it was a casino located in a shittier place, bordering between corporate and just like shadier area. It's located close to Little Hong Kong, apparently. Badoom.
Well, Jace has a gambling problem, so he's excited.
Yeah, what's the gambling of choice?
Keno.
Yeah. Wait, what's that?
Yeah, what is that?
What?
Should I know that?
You guys don't know what Keno is?
Oh, I've never heard of that.
It's kind of like bingo.
Lottery number bingo.
Cyber Keno.
Cyber
Play
Keno.
over like weeks.
Oh God, that seems like it would be addicting. That yeah. Now, yeah, it's. I was gonna say roulette. That's terrible.
Well, you could do roulette
Roulette and Keno. Those are just two.
and Keno.
Yeah, because
Double addiction.
short-term roulette, long-term Keno
No, right.
for the long
Cool.
game.
So cool. So I'm assuming everyone like discovers this information, or it's relayed to everybody, right?
Yeah, I imagine everybody comes with. If they didn't, I would bring it back to the group.
Yeah. So we'll say that everybody went to the Blind Lady casino.
It's like next to the blind lady.
What's next to them?
No, I'm kidding. I'll go to the blind lady.
It looks like Jewels.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot that information would actually be there.
Yeah.
I will go to the blind lady.
There is a map.
I'm going to the blind lady and like have some food. We've been working forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, they're working you hard, right? Cool.
I mean, I'm getting paid like nothing. I gotta eat when I can if I'm not gonna sleep.
Right. Cool. So when you get there, what you see is that everyone is dressed pretty nice. There's a sumo guard, apparently. And you see the guard turn away people that aren't dressed in like a jacket and tie. And they're apparently very strict about that. And out front, there's like these really gaudy Asian like dragon pillars besides the doors, and the doors are red. And there's like a red carpet where people are kind of like able to line up, but most people are just going in at this time of night. What do you do?
I'm gonna go in and order some chicken fingers.
do you have a jacket and tie? Because the sumo guy will be like, nope.
Is jacket and tie only?
Yeah.
Then
What if I see through? Is that okay?
If you what?
If I see through?
See through?
Yeah, like at the concert, everything was the see-through jackets.
Oh yeah. I think the guy looks confused but nods. It's just like, I guess that's okay.
I need to borrow a jacket and tie, sir.
We don't have rentals. This isn't that kind of place. You're not slumming it here, sir. He looks at your incredulous face and just like rolls his eyes.
Okay, well, listen. I need to get something from inside.
Are you gonna be a problem?
No, it sounds like you're the problem.
I'm just doing my job. Why are
Yeah,
you
me
hassling me?
too, buddy. You.
Well, either way, I don't want to get fired for letting people in without a jacket and tie. Do you have some?
You better
weird
find me a jacket
favors?
and tie.
We don't have those. We assume that if people come here with some money to gamble, this is a higher end establishment, that maybe they have a jacket and tie.
And you don't have just a spare jacket and tie for those patrons who come here at strange hours and didn't prepare their wardrobe to stop by a gambling hall at God knows what hour?
Well, let's just turn to a roll. You're trying to persuade them, right? Do you have fictional positioning for this, you think?
I'm a legally employed bodyguard.
Right. So do you think you're super charismatic at making this argument?
No.
Yeah. So disadvantage.
Can I help by
How would you help?
standing? How can I help? Oh wait, like what does someone need right now?
A jacket and tie?
Well, I think you're more about smoothing it over, unless you do have a jacket and tie. But I think this whole exchange wouldn't have happened if you did. So we'll say that some of you don't.
Um,
I'm a disadvantage. It just means I'll have to fight him if I can't convince him.
oh yeah, then I can help. That's fine.
I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
So I'll be dragged all the way across town. Disadvantage. Decreased mad. Woohoo.
8. Nice. Okay. Why is it decrease man?
Because that's the disadvantage.
Oh,
Right?
is that
The little
that's how
down
you
arrow?
named it? Oh, okay. I was like, huh?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, cool. So you succeed, but there's a complication. Interesting. I think he's like, it's not worth it. I get paid the equivalent of like minimum wage or whatever, right? Like $13.
Yeah, buddy,
an
I
hour.
hear you. I'm not happy to be here either.
Right. So he like swings the door open and allows you to go in, but then he also like says something into his thing, like there's troublemakers coming, probably, right? Because y'all look like trouble.
Alright, guys, we're in.
Yeah. As you go in, the main themes is chrome and black, and apparently there's a whole bunch of dream paint graffiti in it. It doesn't explain what dream paint graffiti is, but it seems like maybe something that like is shifting and morphing or something like that along with the paint. So I want to know, as you guys enter, what do we see that is either very chic or a sign that this place is also controlled by the Seven Feathers Triad? Do you like my reveal? I was waiting for that.
So I have a question. Does he let Rodeo in?
Oh, interesting. Probably not, right?
Does Rodeo have
My
a
motorcycle-sized robot?
Yeah, probably not. I think he says he's like your thing has to wait here. As he gets confused. At first he probably thinks it is a motorcycle, and then it starts walking and stuff, and he's like,
Can Rodeo do a holographic jacket and tie though?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, he can project a jacket. The minigun will be a tie, and then he'll have a jacket.
A arm jacket.
Yeah, he'll perk up.
I think that will be a roll to try to convince him to let Walking Death Machine in. Because he might be wearing those spectacles as well, right? Getting rid of the veil.
How important is it that we get Rodeo inside?
Yeah, it's up to you. Would you like things to snowball, possibly?
Well, always. But I also don't want to derail everybody. You know what? I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna say that Rodeo deserves to be in here.
What is the line of argument?
You know what? I think I'm just gonna lie. Yeah, and I'm just gonna say that that Rodeo is classified as human in 30 states or something like that.
So they're like kind of backwards here, right? Like you guys aren't up with AI, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have rights
Right.
recognized by the UN and yada yada. Cool. I'd say this is disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they a place run by the triads probably aren't super worried about violating anybody's UN rights as a person. But
Okay.
yes.
So that would be I'm mad.
Mhm.
And that would be a disadvantage. So I will roll. Hey, look.
It's you guys, okay. So I guess what happens is you guys all go in. Rodeo is acting like a person then?
Yeah, he's like propped up on two back legs with like a centaur. And he's just like, and he's
And it
projected
is-
a jacket over himself.
Okay. I think as soon as they go in, oh, you guys all go in, right? And the door shuts, and then we actually hear what he says instead of just like the mutter. Instead, it escalates, and he's like, I think it's there might be with the troublemaker, and then we get the like jump shot of you guys going into this place, and then you telling me what is chic about this place, or a sign that it's run by the seven feather triads.
So what's chic, I think, is that the like walls and ceiling are all made out of like e-paper or e-ink, and they just have like triangles, right, to go with the triad. And they're like changing, so the wall like flashes, and then you get triangles in different shapes or different
Ooh.
configurations.
Ooh.
I think we know that it's run by the triad because there's a heavy layer of smoke in the air, but to make it appropriately cyberpunky, it's e-cigarette smoke, and there's like you can see like electrical charges going through it as if it was like as if it were like communications. So you can see like if somebody sends a text message, you can see like this little lines zip through it.
Cool. So they're like tracing people and stuff too.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Sounds good. What else?
So we're doing chic, and this is like the
Yeah, and or
oh, okay. You well, I think like the um what is the seven feathers try? No, seven feathers gang. What are they called?
is that triad?
The try. Okay. um, I think like the opulent pillars that are like uh starting like the walls in this place are very the only thing I know about Liverpool is like the rock candy, which looks like this. Um, and it's really like hard candy with like a sherbet on the inside. So I think it's kind of like a bit of tongue in cheek, like the like drugs reference for them because like it's yeah like these like literal rock candy rock candy like massive rock candy pillars are like neon colors and stuff and made of sugar and that kind of thing and it's like yeah this is a drugs place we're not hiding that.
It's better than blue glass. Cool. What else?
Okay, so at a couple of the tables, you can see members that are obviously power players with like more chips on their side, and one of those individuals has a cloak of feathers, and it's just kind of like one of the giveaways, I guess, for the Seven Feathers tribe. But it's chic in the sense that they're bioluminescent feathers, so it's like plucked from a genetic hybrid species of like ocean bird, deep ocean bird.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I also think this place is chic because the Dream Paint is like doing like replicas of like I don't know any like good paintings, like sort of like your like Van Goghs and stuff, like Starry Night is just like bleeding all over the God, you're my brain. But it's like the like Starry Night sort of like shimmering like up in on the roof kind of thing. It's sort of very like fluid and moving Van Gogh Starry Night. And there are also dogs playing poker in it too. Huggies.
I hate that one. Did everyone add something?
I think those like bioluminescent birds are the kind with that like really long tail. And so there's just like projections of them in the smoke. So like they'll fly through and like pick up the signals and like take them off. Like when they're capturing people's details and stuff like that, they're coming out of their devices and things.
Very cool. I like that a lot. As you go in, there's already like a little bit of a scene. People are looking around for a specific individual already. And these people are the main sort of folks who are looking. Can you see that? Those are the folks that are looking. And there's, I guess, what they think the inside might look like as well. Which is, I like the guy with the monocle. It's like, yes, I'm playing some poker here, or what looks like blackjack. Anyway. Yeah, you must be the Monopoly guy. Cool. So there already is like a little bit of, it's not like a panic, but you guys, as cyberpunks, can tell that these people are specifically tracing a route looking for this. And then you hear like they raise a fist to their ear to hear what the outside guy says, who's like, there's more people coming in with some trouble type thing, right? Does anyone have amplified cyber ears so they can hear that?
Where's our adult Alex character?
I think I gave Rodeo those. Hang on.
Rodeo just says everything. He's just like jacked.
I just put everything in Rodeo. Oh yeah, I'm amplified audio.
Yeah, so if you're connected to Rodeo, then he overheard them saying that. And they kind of like nod their head, and there's like it's very thick with the crowd, but they're kind of like, you see the guy do the like send one guy out to you and one guy out still looking for something else. And as you're like threading your way through, you can overhear a little bit of gossip, and people are talking about how somebody jacked the roulette wheel, winning big, and then like ran out of here. Like they tried to like escape, and they made out like super big. They tricked it so it was like, I don't know, whatever the equivalent of like a jackpot is or whatever, and then they scrammed. And that just happened a little bit ago, and they're still looking around to see if there's an accomplice, because they think there was two people who had done that and only one person escaped. So what do you do?
Hey Jath, did you happen to pick that up? That message that just came through?
Yeah. Actually, okay.
I think our buddy may I think he may have rigged the roulette wheel and then run out of here. And also maybe give Omen and Io a heads up, because there's a couple of suits coming our way.
Okay, I glance back at Omen and Io and give him a heads up. I don't know. I flash my optic eye at them to kind of make us bright red flare, anime flare.
Ooh. I was gonna say I'm distracted, but I can't ignore an anime flare.
Danger. I just mouthed danger.
You know what's going on?
Sounds like danger, Roman.
Oh, man, I was hoping you could figure out more. All right, I'm gonna I think I'm always just carrying around my sword, but I'm gonna anime twist the handle to show that I'm ready.
I was
Sounds
striking a pose next to you, like a good boyfriend.
good. Cool.
And I'm gonna whisper to Io, do you think we can make off with one of these birds?
You can do anything as long as you believe in yourself, Roman. And I have faith in you.
So supportive.
So
Oh.
there's the two guys going towards you, and then there's the guy in the middle is the one who's still like searching around and stuff like that. And he sent his henchmen to deal with you.
I'm wondering if I can again use my optics to see if I don't know what good it would do. Let me talk it through, but to see the tampering with the roulette wheel is I'm not sure if I can glean anything from that. Maybe I could see if a similar trace of the drugs is around. Maybe this is same bounty.
Yeah. So is this
it's probably still disadvantage.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And I'll roll I guess I'll roll scared because kind of we don't really have much time.
Right. Cool. That's what I like to see. A 5. So I think what happens is you zoom in and you're analyzing it, and I think what happens is as you're doing that, the cloud makes its way over you, right? And they can see that you're interfacing and doing some cyberware stuff, right? Data is being exchanged as you're trying to search for this stuff, and a bird swoops down over you and sort of I want to say that it marks you as a target, but I don't want it to be it shits on you or something like that, right? It marks you as a target by maybe it's as simple as it sheds a holographic feather and it falls on you, right? And it stays there. But at the same time, when you're analyzing it, you see that there's a little gizmo, a tiny microscopic thing, or not microscopic, but a really small thing that has been attached to the roulette wheel. And you can tell that this is Tinker's handiwork, maybe a trademark or something that she's done around you guys before when you were on tour or something. Maybe she has rigged these kind of things before and stuff like that. I think then who's in front? What are the two people, the triad people who now have a clean visual on where they're going with a marked person in the group? What do people want to do? They're coming at you.
I think I'm gonna go stealth. I like the synth skins. I think I'm gonna change it to be the color of the wall. Just kinda
You're just
blend
and
in.
walk right past me. Cool. Okay, and you have that as a slot, don't you?
I'm not an ace.
Didn't you take a slot that was a specific class slot, and you said that you wanted to be able to hide in shadows or something like that?
Yeah, but this isn't shadows, right? I don't know. I could use that.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe instead of just shadows, you have a chameleon type effect or something that you can use for the class slot. Hey? So it's not just darkness. I have Batman and nothing else. Cool. So you use the class slot, and as they're coming towards you, just melt into the fabric of the wall.
Yep.
And they're So all the little like triangles and stuff like that are you now. Cool. What about Omen, Tex, and Io? What do y'all do as these two people approach? They've spotted you and they're coming right for you.
I'm ready for a fight.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I,
and remember too, if you turn to violence, you want to use like rubber bullets and shit.
I'll have a gun.
Okay, sounds good.
I think I shout out, or like as these guys approach, I just call out and say, "Hey, y'all seen an idiot with a TV for a head?"
I think you see them like turn to each other and nod, like, "Yeah, these are the people we want to fuck up." Io, what do you do?
yeah, I mean, I was like ready to back up Owen. Like, you know, Owen's got his like orange sword ready, and I was like got his fist ready.
Okay, so you're gonna try to take them out, or what's the plan?
I'm ready for a fight.
Yeah.
I haven't had any snack. I got talked down to by some door guard. I'm gonna throw down.
Yeah, it's a rough day. I got talked to and it was so hard. Okay. So do you want this to be an exchange of harm, or do you want the stakes to be something else? Like a one-punch knockout or whatever, right? What do you want the stakes to be?
I mean, I always want a one-punch knockout. I think
escalates though, right?
mechanically, we'll just do an exchange of harm.
Yeah, but so it's just going to be an exchange of harm, right?
Yeah, we can have a good old classic fight.
What are you hitting with?
My sword.
Oof, rough. Okay, so that's as bad as shooting somebody, right? Like,
Well, okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I could cleave off a limb.
yeah. I mean, people die from swords.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I guess it depends how like small you want the actions to be. But I guess I could be gesturing with it and like being like, "Do you really want to fuck with me? Because I'm gonna sword you."
Okay. So you're just trying to be intimidating?
Yeah, maybe that'll be the first step.
Okay.
I don't need to go cleaving salaried hourly wage employees, you know.
Okay. I think it'll definitely be disadvantage.
What? I got a big sword.
Yeah, but these guys are like mindless triad guys who like have submachine guns, it looks like, right? They want to fuck you up.
Can I help?
How would you help intimidate?
So Rodeo's been walking around like a centaur, so I think he just moves up behind him, and his little front arms go like like bring it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that definitely helps. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, so roll normally. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like calm. I'm feeling like ready to fucking go. We're just gonna deal with this like two mindlessly employed minions.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Peaceful.
Nice. It took like a little while to load for me.
I have
was
the
like-
3D dice turned on because I think they're kind of funny.
Okay. So you do intimidate the shit out of them. In fact, you get a bonus effect from it. So do you think that it's you like revealing your sword, or do you think it's like Rodeo like unmenacing themselves and stuff?
Absolutely rodeo. Because I wanted them with the sword brandish, so they had already seen it. There's no more intimidating I can do with that. I think, but Omen probably doesn't see rodeo come up behind them, so Omen's like, "Fuck yeah, that's right, back off." And really, they're like, "Oh my god, it's not a person; it's a giant robot spider."
Yeah, exactly. Cool. As a bonus effect, I'll say that both of them are like, fuck this, basically. So yeah, we just get like a shot of them walking towards you and then being like, oh shit, no, and then going like back or radioing and being like, "No, I don't get paid enough for this," right? To the main guy. Cool.
Friend.
Dover, as you were hidden there, you overhear more people speaking, and there's like whispers of somebody who is with someone who looks like Jack, like a giant TV head person. He's the one that ran out of there, but the other person they think is hiding in the women's washroom. There's like patrons who are like, I'm pretty sure she just went into the washroom. These people are idiots. So what do you do, Dover?
I'm debating if I should go in there alone.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think while everybody else is dealing with this, I'll go off to the restroom.
Okay, so if you're trying to go there and evade the main guy who's searching, his name is Grisso, the main middle guy with the black suit and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that'll be a roll, so you evade him because he's got some cyber optics and he's scanning the room and stuff like that. He's like seems to be tracing something with his eyes very slowly and looking for where a person went, and so he's getting fairly close to the women's washroom, but hasn't traced it there just yet.
All right. Also, that's peaceful. Like trying to.
Sure. You're Metal Gear soliding your way there. If only you had a box.
A box?
Like Metal Gear Solid, where like nobody can tell that he's there because the box is running.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You had a box on your head.
Yeah. Okay, so with an 8, you get in there, and what you see Tinker all like dressed up. She's got like a dress on. It basically looks like Angelina Jolie with huge glasses. That's what it looks like to me. And she is like hiding in one of the stalls, and let's see. Oops, wrong one. Oh yeah, as soon as she sees you, she's like, "Oh thank God, they're coming for me." Jack fucking set me up. He got me to jack the roulette roll, or hack it, whatever. And then just fucking took off, left me here. There's these fucking little peckers looking around for me, trying to kill me and shit. I left my PAC back at the hotel, or pack, whatever people say, and left my phone there too. I thought Jack would take care of me.
Well, let's get you somewhere safe.
Okay.
The bathroom's not the place to be.
And then the complication from the 7 to 9 is you get in there and that happened, and then as soon as you say that, you hear like the 3 or Grisso like about to put his hand on the door and open it. IO or oh wait, we're at 57. I guess that's the closing shot. That's how it ends. Grisso is coming into the ladies' washroom. Not very nice, Grisso. And everybody gets 1,500 experience.
Woo.
Woohoo! Can go, and that's it. I haven't played one of these games in a while where it's just like, and it's over. All right. If you level up, make sure to choose one or the other things for your choices. And remember that hit dice is akin to the harm box. I wrote it in like little things there for you too, so you remember. And money-wise, we've taken care of that already. The 1,500 is what you'll get amassed throughout this thing, because it's only going to take place over the course of like a month. So, boom. I'm going to stop the broadcast.